Okay, so let's look at our first example here. I have 2 plus 3 times 7. And you might be tempted to want to do 2 plus 3 first, but you don't want to do that. You have to do the multiplication first, because if you look at PEMDAS, please end my day at school, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, multiplication comes before addition. So we do 2 plus, and then I do 3 times 7 is 21. And then 2 plus 21 is 23. And you would have gotten a different answer had you done it the other way, and that answer would not have been correct. Okay? Let's look at another one here. Now here I have parentheses around the 4 and the 3. So parentheses comes before multiplication. So I would do the 4 minus 3 first, and I would get 1 times 5, which gives me 5. Okay? So in this case, multiplication didn't happen before the subtraction because of the parentheses. The parentheses are first. Okay, next one, again, you're going to be tempted to try to do the 2 plus 4. Everybody likes to try to go left or right, but when you have multiplication and addition, multiplication comes before addition, so we do the multiplication first, and we get 2 plus 16, which is 18. Okay? Here is kind of an icky one. I have 4 plus 4 divided by 3, and as much as I hate to say it, I have to do the division first. So I get 4 plus and then 4 over 3. Okay, so that's 4 1/3. Or you could also write that as 1 1/3. And if you ask me in class, I can show you how to do that with your calculator. Or you just know 4 is divided by 3, it goes one time with 1/3 left over. So I'll write it like that. And 1 1/3 plus the 4 gives you 5 1/3. Okay? Like I said, I can show you how to use your calculator for those parts of it. Here we have multiplication. When it's right next to the parentheses, that means you multiply. We have subtraction, and we have addition in parentheses. So I'm going to do the addition first because it's in parentheses, so I get 2 times, and then 5 plus 9 is 14, minus 6. And then between multiplication and subtraction, I do the multiplication first, so I get 28 minus 6. 28 minus 6 is 22. Okay? The next one, I have multiplication, subtraction, and exponents. You do the exponents before the other two because the E is before the M and the S. So I do 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, or 16. Then I do multiplication. I get 12 minus 16, which is -4. And if you have trouble with negative exponents, we're going to, review how to add and subtract numbers in just a few days, so don't worry about that. Next one. It might seem kind of weird, but we actually do the thing in the middle first. We do the division before addition or subtraction. So I get 6 plus, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then minus 5. And now we just go left to right. Okay, because addition and subtraction have the same power, so 6 plus 2 is 8, and 8 minus 5 is 3. Now you're probably saying, can I combine some of these steps? And I would say you can combine some of them, but you don't want to combine all of them and just write the answer, because I'm going to be grading your work on this. And plus, if you entered in your calculator wrong, and you get the wrong answer and you haven't shown any work, then I can't give you any partial credit. So show some of the steps like I'm doing, at least while we're doing this for the first time. Okay, so 7 squared. I have parentheses, I have division, but I do what's in the parentheses first, so I jump inside the parentheses, and in there I have lots of things going on. I have powers and I have subtraction, so I do the powers first. I get 49 minus, and then here I have 9, and then divide by 2, and that gives me 40. I do that next.
You've got mail.
I have mail. I used to get excited when I got mail because usually it was from a girl, and Now it's just all about work. So really don't care about mail anymore. Used to be kind of cool though. So it's going to be something good, but not anymore. Okay, so 40 divided by 2 is 20. Okay. Alright, let's do another one here. I have a lot of things going on. I jump inside the parentheses first. So I have 2 times, and then 3 times, or 3 minus 5 is negative 2. And then divide by 4. Now, 2 times negative 2, if you have forgotten, it's going to be negative 4. And don't panic if you've forgotten, because we're going to review multiplying and dividing.
You've got mail.
Multiplying and dividing negatives and things like that. Negative 4 divided by 4, I get negative 1. So I have 1 plus negative 1, which ends up giving me 0. Okay? So hopefully you found that helpful. I was freaking out there for a second. I thought I did it wrong, but I didn't. Okay, next problem. Now, this line is actually a grouping symbol. So I have to group everything on top together before I do anything with the 8, which is kind of interesting, actually. So I have 2 plus 3 minus 8. I do the 2 plus 3 first. I get 5 minus 8 over 8. And then 5 minus 8 is negative 3 over 8 minus 9. Okay. And then, you know, at this stage, I actually, you may not believe this, I actually can do this without a calculator, but since we haven't reviewed addition and subtraction yet, and some of you may have trouble with fractions, maybe it's been a long time since you've dealt with fractions, I will show you how to use the calculator for this one. So I'm just kind of waiting for it to come up here. You know, fractions used to scare Mr. Boyer too. I remember I actually got made to stay after school to work on fractions, but my teacher wasn't nice about it. You know, when I ask you to stay after school, I try to be really nice about it, but she was really mean about it. I was in like the 6th grade, and she told me that I was like too fat and everything, and it's like, she's really mean. Everybody hated that teacher in the 6th grade. How could you tell a kid something like that? That's just awful, you know. But then she tried to make people stay after school. Well, nobody's going to stay after school if you're going to be mean to them. So, but I don't know. She's probably not around anymore because she was kind of old when I was young, and now I'm kind of old. So, anyhow, that has nothing to do with anything. I was just kind of waiting for the calculator to come up. So I have negative 3/8. I hit the fraction button. The nice thing about these new calculators is you can pretty much type things in exactly as you see them on the page. And I got negative 75 over 8. Or if you want to write it as a mixed number, even though personally I love improper fractions, if you were to hit the second function button and then hit this button right here, the little X and the 10 button, and hit that and then hit enter, bam, writes it as a mixed number. If you want a decimal, double arrow button, you get a decimal too. So a lot of ways you could do that. And I am going to stop right there because I feel like I've talked a long time, but I'll come back and do another couple examples for you in just a minute. But I just want to pause here, give you a chance to kind of collect your thoughts, and I'll see you in just a bit.